I get super excited all the time because I'm meeting people every single day. But today I'm really super excited. Victoria Beale joins me in the podcast studio here at Homegrown. Victoria, what a pleasure to meet you.
Well, pleasure to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
I'll tell you what, thankful, of course, to Debbie Bryan.
Yes.
Who introduced us.
Wonderful, Debbie.
Indeed, the gift that keeps on giving is Debbie. And I've been so excited to meet you for so long. And she was like bigging you up and stuff. And I was like Googling and I'm like, my goodness me. Look, if you was to sum up to my kind of audience, the people that know me well, you know, what you do, what your purpose is, I would love that.
Okay. Well, how do I do this? I'm mother of 5, first of all, which is a very important part of my life.
Yeah.
But second to that, I'm known as a global super connector. And I'm also a part-time TV presenter as well on Sky.
What a pleasure. And what about the journey? How did that start for you? When did it kick in? At what age? Because I remember being at school, looking out of the science class window, thinking, I don't want to be here. I know exactly what I want to do. I'm 15 years old. Let me go. So what about you? When did you start thinking about what you wanted from life?
Well, very similar to that. I mean, I was 5 years old and I started the Fruit Club, okay? And that consisted of me going to WH Smith's and buying us stickers, you know, but they all had little fruits on.
Oh, yeah.
And that was £1. And then I sold each one for £1. So there's my £49 return on investment. And that was the Fruit Club. They had to come in. There was a register. I was the leader, obviously. And that's when the networking started. And that is a real story, I have to say. But then I realised I was actually quite good at connecting people. So I've just done it all through my life without realising, to be honest with you, Shane. It's like in the blood. I do have very strong Irish roots, which I think has helped. But yeah, I love meeting people, new people. I like finding out about them. I do a lot more listening than I do talking, which, you know, you find that hard to believe at the moment because I'm talking. But I do like to find out about people, where they're from, what makes them tick. And then I'll be, okay, I know someone that you need to talk to. And it's just there, you know, and I've been doing it ever since, basically.
You can never underestimate how powerful that connection is for people as well, because, you know, I see it all the time where we'll be doing a podcast with someone here and then the next day we'll do a podcast with someone else. And there's no way these two people would have met, but we can intercept and do the introduction and people are so grateful for that. And it just keeps going. It doesn't stop, does it?
It doesn't stop, no. And, you know, the mistake that people make, I think sometimes in these networking environments is they think, I'm going to make a first deal on the first day. It's not like that, you know. It's all about relationship building. That's the core of everything we do. And almost becoming friends with people. In fact, I'm friends with loads of people that I've met through business, more so than I have in real life. So it's all about the relationships. I'm pleased to say I have very strong relationships in about 6 continents across the world of influence, politics, royalty, as well as multiple business owners. So I'm able to take all of those years of graft and relationship building and share that with my customers. And that's what makes our consultancy so special, I believe.
It is. So what is it that kind of fires you on every single day when you wake up? You've got the children, of course, but, you know, the children, life in general, what fires you on each day to keep going and strive for further success? Because in my opinion, you look very successful and very happy and content where you are right now. But what keeps you going?
I think I just like to grow things. So, you know, I'm working with a wonderful company at the moment who I'm intending to work with very long term, called Factotum. And you'll hear from Beverly later, one of the founders. I like to go in and make an absolute bang and a difference in companies. They need an area of growth or support. I mean, I'm all about business growth, business development, increasing revenues. That's what I'm good at. So I go into companies and I help them do that, generally through events and lead generation. That's the specialist area. But that's what gets me going, is growing stuff, basically. So, yeah, I mean, it's just that's what drives me, and the passion about connecting people from my existing relationship pool, let's call it, with my clients and accelerating their growth even more so gives me absolute, you know, enormous pleasure.
So my niche, for example, is Cornwall. So born in Cornwall, brought up in Cornwall. I'm very established in Cornwall. London is a new kind of entity for me, really, the last 12 months. So in Cornwall, I'm very connected. I can make things happen. So we need to make sure we bring you down to Cornwall, make sure you're looked after like a queen. But, you know, what kind of advice can you give to, these are already professionals, so they're pretty much aware of networking and connecting and stuff. Any one particular tip, I guess it's going to be relationship based, but any tip that you can give anyone today that they can take away and go, do you know what? Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Well, I'm in the business of events, okay? So I've created and promoted over 3,000 events, so corporate events, property events, and health and wellness. So my databases or my areas of relationships are HRDs for blue chips, property investors, property developers, real estate agents, and then, of course, business leaders turning over about £500,000 or more, or they're looking for investment or they're on the growth, okay? That's just a quick overview. So the tips that I can give to people would be every company, whether it's a service or product-based business, they should always have an event, at least 1 or 2 events a year, to engage with new potential customers and re-engage with their existing customers. And it's very, very important to bring your existing happy customers into the same room as your potential new customers. A lot of people make mistakes. They'll throw a lot of money at events, particularly accountants, because I've seen them do this. They'll get a swanky bar in London, they'll invite a load of people and just hope that they'll come and have a few drinks and sign a contract. It doesn't work like that. You can actually create an event for your business. You can actually charge for that event. You may want to give that money to charity. Okay, that's always a good hook. The title of the event is really important. What's the purpose of the event? And always give them something to educate them, not just sell to them. So, I mean, I've got a full list of hints and tips that I can give to people if they want to get that information from me, then please do get in contact with me. But I'd say if you're a business and you're on the growth at the moment and you're scaling, have at least 1 or 2 events a year and charge for those events as well. And get some sponsors, get your partners, get your accountant to chip in a few quid, get your lawyer, don't bear the cost yourself. So a few more than just one tip there. But
that's really great. And to be honest, an eye-opener for me, and I'm very involved in events and things like that. But yeah, it's an obvious one to me, actually, when you say about it. Homegrown. We're here in Homegrown. This is where we produce a lot of our podcasts now here in London. And it's a great vibe. Is it the first time you've been here, or have you been here before? Is this regular?
Yeah, no, I've been here quite a few times. Okay. And actually before Homegrown was completed, I was doing a lot of stuff at Home House as well. In fact, when I was 9 months pregnant, 2 weeks before I gave birth, I did an event at Home House with a load of investors. Yeah. So I'm very familiar with these parts, and it's a great place. So if you're a business owner and you want to create a bang in London, then come and visit Homegrown. I'll definitely fly the flag for them.
Yeah, me too. Jay and I, we come here every month, and it's just a really good culture, great feeling, genuine people. The staff are always really, attentive, really looking after us above and beyond. So I always like to know what people like to do when they're not working, when you're not super connected, when you're not on yachts and, looking after celebrities and connecting them with normal people and vice versa. What does Victoria like to do just to chill?
What do I like to do? Chill. I love cooking.
Okay.
I'm very good at drawing and painting, although I haven't done that for a long, long time. Don't have time. Yeah. And socialising, obviously, that's in the blood. But actually, I'd say cooking and creating stuff is kind of where I'm from. I'm also a qualified hairdresser as well. So if people need their hair doing and whatever, then they normally come my way. Yeah. Yeah, I can do hair extensions as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I spent all morning doing mine and left it at the apartment, So, signature dish?
Oh, there's so many. But one of my previous ex-boyfriends says I do a really good lasagna from scratch.
Oh, I love lasagna.
Yeah, I do add a few different things in there to make it a little bit different. But yeah. And I like doing stuff from scratch. I don't buy processed stuff or anything. It's all cooked from scratch. Yeah, that's really important for your health.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure I get your address later on. I'll come around for a bit of
You're more than welcome.
Scran tonight. Well, Victoria, it's been an absolute pleasure to actually meet you in real life.
I know, because we were supposed to meet like 2 or 3 years ago. Lockdown, weren't we?
I know.
It never happened, but yeah, you too.
Yeah, no, it's really, really great to meet people face to face, and I don't think you'll ever beat this. I know we had the whole Zoom thing during lockdown and things like that, and we still use it a bit of hybrid. I like a bit of hybrid, but you can never beat this and pressing some flesh, as a friend of mine once said, Larry Lamb, right? The
Yeah.
actor, he said that. He says, go out and press some flesh, he said, and I think that's a great little saying,
It's the only way that I've built my relationships. I would not have been able to. I mean, I did go online when we were obviously locked down. I launched in Africa, as it goes, without having any contacts there. But the reason I was able to do that so quickly and live on Ugandan TV, I may add, it was broadcast with the Deputy Prime Minister announcing she was joining my network. I mean, it was surreal. But that all happened because I'd already built those relationships from pressing the flesh many years before. So that's how I was able to do it. But absolutely. And I just want to give a shout out to Pauline Giles.
Oh my goodness.
One of my very close friends as well. That's yes.
You know that I know her, right?
I know that you know her, yes.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I'd mention it.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. See, that's always remarkable to drop a name. Yeah.
She's a great woman and I've got a lot of time for her. So hello Pauline, if you're listening.
Pauline is an absolute powerhouse and chair of Cornwall Council at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
And that's a lady who has, really battled some kind of challenges in her life. Oh,
yes, I know.
And she's been quite public about them, as you know, but she just keeps on going. Yeah. And she's one of those forces that, you just want to be around because it just lifts your energy by millions. Yeah. So there we are. Yeah, Pauline, we love you, Pauline.
And we love Cornwall as well. I'm actually going to be moving there, hopefully, in the next year or so.
Well, we can't wait to welcome you.
Thank you.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Well, there you go. If you're not already connected to this powerhouse, and I cannot stress enough how awesome this lady is, I can just feel the vibes right here. It's just like, make sure you connect to Victoria Beale. She will, take good care of you, that's for sure. But for myself, thank you very much for listening. As always, my thanks to Jay, who's produced this podcast. We love producing podcasts here from Homegrown. And from myself and Victoria, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.